All right, we're sitting here with 1996 graduate Cory Hitchcock. Was a one-time state qualifier, and that one time made it count by finishing 5th in the state at 215 pounds. Yes?
Yep.
Just sort of get everybody out there caught up with what is going on in your life right now. What are you doing?
I am employed up in Marysville at Nestle PTC, and currently helping with the youth program and the junior high wrestling program.
You're doing more than just helping the junior high.
Well,
you're the head coach.
I'm the head coach of the junior high.
All right, good. And personal life?
I'm married and I have a son. He's 9. Zane. His name's Zane Hitchcock.
Anything you want to tell us about your wife that'll thoroughly embarrass her on this video?
No.
Or you like to be happy?
No, I like to be happy.
That's wise words there. Yep. Wise words. I know so you wrestled from 93 through 96.
Yep.
This was so you were starting as a freshman in the early years of Coach Wasserman coaching. I think that was just his third year as head coach when you joined. Just talk a little bit about Coach Wasserman and maybe some of the things that you really loved about him as a coach. Some of the things that during the moment you wish he had chosen something else for you to do, or something you didn't like about him, or whatever. Then also maybe just some of the influence he had on you as a wrestler, and then as a young man going into adulthood.
Okay. He was very intense. It was he expected a lot out of you. He pushed you to your breaking point, and which that's great. As an adult, that's what his play is supposed to go. As a freshman that's a little bit out of shape or a little bit round, it wasn't the greatest thing in the world to be around. But he always believed in you. He would push you to get your best potential out of you, and he would get you over that hump. And I respect him a lot for that. He really. He believed in every wrestler he had on. It just wasn't me. It was every wrestler. He got the best out of every kid and supported them and tried to guide them like a coach should. Mm-hmm. And that's what I remember the most about Coach Wasserman. He was just intense but supportive. So
I know we in our last one we talked with Cody Tony, and he was telling about us times when he found out after he graduated that Coach Ross said, "Hey, listen, you told him there were some days it didn't make a difference what you did; it wasn't going to be good enough pushing." So, what were some of maybe the more unique things about him that differentiated him from other coaches you've been around?
Wow, that is true. He's not telling a lie. There were some days you walked in, had a great day at school, he's going to have a nice practice, he's feeling good, and you was busting it, and you were just like, it wasn't good enough. He's absolutely correct on that. So the main thing with I wasn't a fan of, Wasserman would bring in a TV and the VHS tape, and we had aerobics. We did aerobics during wrestling practice. And I was not a big fan of it because it was awkward, and at my thinking in high school, women do aerobics, men lift weights, and we're doing aerobics and doing the 5 more, 3 more stuff, and that would be my biggest thing with Coach was the aerobics. It was just
for a guy nicknamed Buddha, don't really go with aerobics that well.
Buddha right? Don't like aerobics.
Well, it's amazing because now they do a lot of that type of training. So he was just well ahead of his time, and you just didn't know it at the time.
Yep. Huh? Well, the big thing too with the aerobics, he always threatened he was going to make us do it at the awards banquet. So that kind of threatened you too. He was like, "I'm going to make you boys do this before you get your awards at the awards banquet."
I can hear him saying that. So just talk about his influence that he had on you. Maybe as a senior and going on into college adulthood, what were some of the things that
he taught me to believe in myself. He he made me realize, maybe my junior year, this might steer off just a hair, but junior year, he's like, hey, you're a good wrestler. You just need to focus. I needed to focus on what I needed to do, and he guided me with that. So he helped me become a believer with myself, and if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So. And I kind of carry that on. I try to pass that on to other kids, that I deal with, wrestling season. So,
So as you were growing up, what were some of the wrestlers that you looked up to, you idolized as a
hands
as
down,
a kid?
Greg McNamara.
Greg McNamara.
Yep, I looked up to Greg a bunch. He was a big influence on me, and I respected Greg, and he was one I looked up to. I liked Scott Hayes. He was another one that was. They had been seniors when I was in the 7th grade. Them guys, they kind of looked out for us, and because it wasn't. I don't think it was totally illegal, but we had no junior high coach. My 7th and 8th grade years, so we just practiced with the high school. If
it was illegal, that statute of limitations has so run out by now.
I know, I hope. So them guys kind of kept us getting picked on from the freshmen and sophomores and juniors. The seniors kind of looked out for us. They didn't.
That's cool.
They were like their little brothers. They could mess with us, but nobody else could.
Yeah.
So.
and that's sort of how a lot of male sports goes anyway. Yep. Just the kind of the law of the jungle there. What was maybe one of your best memories of Mechanicsburg wrestling?
I would say it would be placing at state. I was, even going into sectional, I wasn't sure how my season was going to end. I know I worked hard, but I didn't know. I guess wasn't 100% confident that I was going to make it to state and be that state placer. So when I placed, I that would be the biggest thing. My greatest memory of mechanics. I'm sure there's others, but that's the one that sticks out right now is this placing.
Yeah. Now, when 1996 was the first time that Mechanicsburg had 2 state placers.
Yeah.
And you guys you and Tavis were the first placers since 1978. So there was a big drought in there. So you guys didn't really have anything to. You didn't have pictures to look up on the wall and say you could do it. So. So what was it that maybe gave you guys, we can go out and do this, even though no one at Mechanicsburg has done this, since, maybe you guys were born.
Right. Walshman. Walshman told us we could do it. He kept us, a pack of us together, and you can see the packs that get formed with wrestling, nowadays, and them kids support each other, and then they push, and he kept me and Tavis and Andy Snyder and Rob Small and Aaron Kraft would have been a senior, but he was a big support for us. He was a senior when we were freshmen, and kind of kept us all wrestling in the summer and kept us focused. And Wasserman was he would talk about him being a state qualifier, and he would tell us we were better than that. So and he just kept pushing us to get to be better than him. He wanted us to be better than him. So he didn't care if we surpassed him in records or whatever. He wanted us to move forward and be placers or state champs or. So.
Cool. So as you you have been in this program obviously since this is over 30 years now, or 21 years if you started in '93. Give us some of your impressions of what you see from the program when you first started in '93 through your time competing, and then through the 2000s into the current day. Now that you're back in the program, involved in the coaching side of it, what are sort of your impressions of what you're seeing?
It's the mentality's a lot different. It's you when you're here, you're focused, you're wrestling, and then you're going elsewhere. I mean, granted, there's lots of good coaches out there, but you have to be taking that next step to get an extra training or drilling, and it seems like we bought into it in the '90s with Wasserman, and then he kept it going on, and then you've capitalized on it with with you got to stay busy. You got to be doing something, and that's what I've seen over the past, that kids are more focused on wrestling, so they're going to more camps in the summer, and they're wrestling the meets in the summer. So I would, Wasserman tried to implant that with when he first took over, and then it kind of stuck with us, the little bit younger guys, because we had enough time to get it. You only got 2 years left. It's hard to say, hey, I'm gonna wrestle 60 matches in the summer and go on.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
But that's what I see is the kids working harder and staying focused towards what they want to do.
All right. So what advice would you give to the young wrestlers, whether it's sophomores, maybe primarily sophomores and down, all the way down into the youth? So obviously you are involved in the youth program and the junior high. All the high school guys know who Coach Buddha is now. What was some advice that you'd be given to them that maybe you wish you had been told these things when you were their age?
Who has to comment with that one? My grades. I wasn't the best student in the world, and I harp on grades on them to make sure that's more important than wrestling. I mean, when it boils down to it, that's more important than wrestling. So I push to make sure they're getting good grades, and that's their main objective, is to get good grades and then worry about wrestling. So that would be my advice to young men that's growing up. Make sure your studies are done, then wrestle. Yeah,
because they don't really get it that no. You can be a state champ wrestler, but if your grades are down the 1-0s,
yes,
no one wants you. Yep. No one wants you because you can't compete for them anyway.
Right.
Anything else you got for us?
No, I'm can't wait for next season just to see how well we compete this next year. So I was thoroughly impressed with the season this year, with the Mechanicsburg coming in third, and I'm excited to see some more wrestling. So.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Coach Buddha, and we'll catch up with you maybe in another video during season about how the junior high kids are doing that.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.